most of her life, Farrah has been in the spotlight of fame.
It's like a force of nature, just has a life of its own. You know, just when you think I have it figured out, whoa, it's the seasons change and it goes that way. So it's been quite a ride.
Farrah Fawcett's career was launched like a rocket in 1976 when her poster and Charlie's Angels hit all at once. Instantly, she was one of the most famous people in America. Everywhere she went, there was a mob scene. But the girl at the center of the storm had never even wanted to be a movie star. Back home in Corpus Christi, Texas, she never imagined such a life.
I didn't really have plans. I didn't think, oh, that's what I want to do. I was just la-di-da, having a great childhood.
Farrah, a natural athlete, grew up an outdoor girl.
When I was growing up, there was no art, there were no watching movies, there was no TV. I was outside, I was riding horses, I was playing baseball. A girly tomboy. Tomboy, girly, but you know, a combination. But I didn't have a doll collection, so, but I didn't have a soldier collection either. I just preferred to be outdoors and to play sports and games.
Farrah credits her parents with teaching her what matters in life.
My daddy worked very hard, worked at a refinery when I was growing up. My mother was a housewife, Pauline and Jim Fawcett, and a very down-to-earth, normal upbringing I had. I had a sister, Diane, who was 9 years older.
Farrah's mom gave her optimism, and her father taught her confidence.
That's what my dad has been always in my life. Whether it was sports, you can catch it, run faster, you can do it. So when you talk about it, the sports came from him. The kindness and, you know, trusting and seeing the good in other people comes from my mom, who happens to be really my best friend.
Farrah may have thought she was a normal child, but her beauty singled her out. Even in high school, she was voted most beautiful in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grades.
I never thought I was special or different, you know, because beauty comes from inside.
And at college, at the University of Texas, young male students memorized her schedule to watch her walk across campus. But she didn't think this was unusual.
I had girlfriends still around, and they didn't go, oh my gosh. So maybe that's the reason that didn't seem overwhelming.
She was artistic. She was a sculptor. She was studying that in college.
I walked right past the drama department. I did, and I went to the art department.
But fate had surprises in store. A Hollywood press agent, David Mirisch, saw her picture.
When I went to college, I was the first freshman to be in the 10 most beautiful, and that's how David Mirisch saw my photograph and started calling me. Well, first of all, I didn't believe him. You know, because the phone was constantly ringing, and people, my roommate said, no, some guy from Hollywood. Hollywood. I said, oh, Hollywood. Oh, you're right. So I was like, yeah, oh, really? So put the phone down.
Mirisch thought he could see Farrah's future.
At the end of my junior year, I really didn't have plans for the summer. So my parents said, okay, you know, you go out for the summer, do some commercials. And I thought, what is the worst that can happen? I come back and I go to school.
Her father drove her out here with a little trailer in the back with her stuff.
Farrah's parents settled her in a Hollywood rooming house for young actors. 2 weeks later, she signed with Columbia Screen Gems.
I was put under contract right away, so I started making money. Then, a few weeks later, I was loaned out to Fox for Myra Breckinridge.
Amazingly, only a few weeks after landing in Hollywood in 1968, Farrah was cast in a major film, Myra Breckinridge, based on the book by Gore Vidal.
I got to work with John Huston, Mae West, Raquel Welch, Rex Reed. I probably didn't know enough to be as terrified as I should have been then. I didn't even know what it meant to hit your mark. They kept saying, you have to face the camera, Farrah. We can't see your face.
Even Farrah's love life was launched by her beauty.
I met Lee Majors 5 or 6 weeks after I arrived in town. His publicist saw my photographs in my publicist's office and put us together. And so we went out on a first date, and he barely spoke. And I barely spoke. We were both shy, but I have a little more fun and, you know, a little more daring in me.
The two shy people became inseparable. And as Farrah met more people in Hollywood, the doors just kept opening. Commercial agent Marjorie Ashley Jones also saw Farrah's future.
He wants this girl, and I looked up, and it was nothing like what was on the picture. The sun was coming in, and it went right to her, and then there was a call for Ultra Bright. And I called this gal, the casting girl, and I said, I know this isn't on your list, but you got to see this gal, because she's just perfect.
Marge Ashley Jones, who was my first commercial agent, my only one, said, you'll do great, you'll do great.
Within a month of her first audition, Farrah had booked 3 $50,000 commercial contracts.
So the very first day she got a picture, she started working, and she never stopped.
I did Ultra Bright and Noxzema with Joe Namath. Let Noxzema cream your face. And so that's when I started making, you know, more money than I was just being, and I thought it was an enormous amount of money being under contract. My dad said, now really, what are you doing? You're making more money in a year than I've made my whole life.
In the early 70s, Farrah began living with Lee, an arrangement her parents didn't approve of.
I don't know what would have happened if they hadn't insisted that you can't live with him, not be married.
Farrah gave in to her parents' pressure and married Lee in 1973.
Yes, I was in love with Lee. Definitely, I wasn't ready to get married.
But she was ready to throw herself into work. She began appearing in episodic television, including Lee's shows Owen Marshall and The $6 Million Man. But by 1976, she was ready to break out.
Bruce McBroom said, I have a guy that lives in Chicago, it's called Pro Arts, and they do posters. But I really don't ever remember seeing a poster. In fact, I was saying, well, a poster, what is a poster?
Her agent Marjorie knew what would make it sell.
I said, Farrah, you got to trust me this time. You've got to trust me. If people are going to buy this, they want those teeth, they want that hair, they want everything.
And I just wore my own bathing suit, which actually I came across a couple of years ago. So strange. So then it sold 12 million copies.
In the midst of the furor, in 1976, Farrah was asked to do a new TV series about 3 sexy female private eyes. Kate Jackson was already on board and contributing ideas.
I said, well, suppose you have these 3 women and I looked at Aaron's desk and saw his speakerphone. I said, they work for this guy that you never see because he calls them all the time on the speakerphone, you know?
Farrah joined the cast, and then Jaclyn Smith was hired. The 3 women connected instantly.
On Charlie's Angels, we sort of were like college roommates more than these actresses on a show.
I thought we had an amazing chemistry. We had a lot of fun together, and I think our relationship showed in that first year.
Why is it I suddenly feel like a Christian going into the arena? Just be cool. It can't be that bad. No worse than skydiving without a parachute.
When the show went on the air, its ratings astonished everyone, except Farrah, who had her own ideas about the direction the show might take.
I remember saying to them, I think just because we work for Charlie, why couldn't, for instance, my sister be sick, we all go visit my family, and the show, just for one show, we're not, you know, 3 female detectives doing this and that.
As Jill Monroe, Farrah enchanted everyone with her athletic Quicksilver beauty.
It became the #1 show. We went into syndication.
Terrific. I'm allergic to working in potato fields. Why don't you check into this one yourself, Charlie? I'm not with them. I don't even know them.
I have great memories, fond memories. It was great fun, great camaraderie between us, and we just giggled and we had fun.
In the famous prison episode, we were chained together, and we left the chains on, and they sat our 3 chairs right next to each other, and we'd come and sit down and just stay chained together, and they'd throw towels or robes over us, and we'd just sit and talk all day.
Farrah was easy to work with. Kate was, you know, Kate sort of taught Farrah and I, this is the way we do. We do not take a forced call.
Come on, let's get to a phone call, Charlie.
If you know Kate, she's a very strong presence, you know, and she, I think, probably enjoyed being, you know, the leader.
We'll start to look for Elizabeth first thing in the morning, okay? If what old muscle said is right, we're gonna need a good night's sleep, so let's try to get one, okay?
Farrah was learning about deal-making, too.
I started saying I haven't signed my contract very early on because I'd done the poster and I owned the copyright and I knew the value of merchandising one's image, you know.
Merchandising was an issue because Farrah's image was developing a life of its own.
It was Cosmopolitan, and then the poster got on the newsstands that day, and then Charlie's Angels started the following week. It was coming up, so it was all three hit at once.
Charlie's Angels made all three women instantly famous.
We had our first hiatus and went out into the world and discovered that there were people who wanted to jump into the car and jump into the elevator with you and take pictures of you through the windows of your house and jump over the walls and things like that.
And Farrah was the biggest sensation of all.
She was the definition of the word charisma. She was someone that everybody wanted to be. As it turned out, women wanted to be her and men wanted to marry her.
Next, Farrah leaves her hit show.
I hoped that she was making the right decision, and I was disappointed that she was leaving.
But later, working with a master, she shows true bravery.
If she just opens her eyes and look at you, it's sort of an act of courage. So she's got something where she huddles back and then she's, okay, I'm going to do it. And she does, and it's all there.
When Lifetime's Intimate Portrait returns.
This program is sponsored by Alivert. Discover non-drowsy, quick-dissolving Alivert.
Still taking Claritin? Join the millions of allergy sufferers who've discovered Alivert. It starts dissolving instantly, without water. Then it's gone fast. Try non-drowsy, 24-hour relief. Even Claritin can't beat. Alivert, right when you need it, wherever you are.
People don't always use common sense. Fortunately, there's a healthcare company that does. At United Healthcare, we offer tools to fight rising costs, a 24-hour nurse line, and preventive healthcare solutions. United Healthcare. It just makes sense.
It's a school day imperfect. Here, students arrive in a timely fashion. There are always enough supplies to complete your class project. And even the teachers have a hard time coming in from recess. Of course, life isn't always perfect, so there's Walgreens, open every day, many 24 hours, with everything needed for school. That's life. This is Walgreens.
Let's imagine a miracle. A lipstick that blossoms with color and shines with light and moisture. Let's imagine a miracle that lasts into the night.
Moisture, color, shine, wear. Finally, the best of all worlds come together in one lipstick. Introducing My Lip Miracle from Avon.
Let's talk about the power of having it all.
The Passion of the Christ on DVD tomorrow.
For years, bras have been made in A, B, and C. Since the dawn of time, women have not. Ow! Thank goodness, Playtex now gives you what no other bra does. Half sizes. For nearly A, B, and C, and everyone in between. I wanna thank you for letting me be myself again. Half sizes means more sizes for a more perfect fit. Thank goodness it fits. Only from Playtex.
Denise Richards, Dean Cain. Expect the unexpected. To surprise us. I do, but I don't. Premieres 9 p.m. Monday, September 13th. Only on Lifetime.
There's...
You woke it up. Ooh, Dad.
5:30, 6:30, whatever you say. Right on the money. That would be excellent. Absolutely.
Okay, I think your turn is up.
But this is the only place I can get a good signal on my cell phone.
Mister,
Jerry.
Don't make me come up there.
Jerry, I think I'm going to lose you.
Need a better network? Switch to US Cellular and take our Best Network Challenge for 30 days. Then you'll be sure it's the best network for you. It's one more way we connect with you. US Cellular.
If you like the taste of fresh basil, you're gonna love New Gourmet Garden, the easy way to add the fresh chopped flavor of basil to your favorite pasta. With no mess, no fuss, and no waste. A whole new way to add a touch of magic to salads, or a fresh new taste sensation to soups. Try New Gourmet Garden herbs and spices in 6 exciting fresh chopped flavors. That's New Gourmet Garden, now in the fresh produce section of your supermarket.
Lonely days, lonely nights. Where would I be without my woman? Lonely days, lonely nights. Where would I be without?
Now women have something new to do on Monday night. Lifetime's new movie Monday. A brand new movie every Monday at 9, beginning September 6th, only on Lifetime. We now return to Lifetime's intimate portrait of Farrah Fawcett. By age 29, Farrah realized that Charlie's Angels and a poster were not her ultimate career goals. She wanted to do more serious work.
I knew that. I wanted to act with my emotions also, and it has to be important to me, and it has to make a difference, and it has to mean something.
She then shocked everyone by leaving Charlie's Angels after only 1 year to follow her dream. The studio sued her for breach of contract.
A letter went out to every studio that if you work with Farrah Fawcett, you could be party to this mega-million-dollar lawsuit.
She didn't leave the show and break her contract. She had never signed her contract. That's something I think I'd like for people to know.
In order to give her more control over her career, Jay Bernstein set up Fawcett Majors Productions to do independent films. Farrah was ready for more.
I thought by putting her with really strong actors, she could learn on the job, which is really, one of the best ways to do it.
I couldn't work within the studio system. I was forced to do, independent films.
She made Somebody Killed Her Husband with Jeff Bridges. By the time the film was shown at Cannes, Farrah was more than an actress. She was a phenomenon.
She created a chaos in the Cannes Film Festival. I mean, chaos beyond what I've ever seen before.
They jumped on the limo, and then they were on top of that car, and the roof was starting to cave in.
She couldn't even get out of the car. She was supposed to get out of the car, and there was like thousands and thousands and thousands of fans trying to touch her, and I mean, it was frightening.
But her exploding career was altering her relationship with Lee.
Spending that much time apart hurt our relationship. He would have preferred, I think, that I not work.
By 1979, they had separated, and then Farrah met Ryan O'Neal.
I met Ryan when Lee brought him by the house. They were both in Toronto for something. And Lee and I were separated, and he had moved out of the house. But I had a racquetball court.
He had a racquetball court in his house, up on Mulholland Drive, up there. And there was this beautiful blonde again. This is Farrah Fawcett, who I now recognize from her success, but I didn't relate to it. It wasn't my kind of success. She had a poster and she had a TV series. Hell, I'd had a poster in a TV series.
So they came to play racquetball. And, oh, God.
She made dinner for us, and she was wonderful, and I was very encouraging. They were breaking up. Their marriage was breaking up, and I'm saying, no, come on, you've been together so long. You could look at his house. Who gets that? I was kidding them.
Oh, you two are great together, and come on, and give it a try. And I was, once you've separated, it's so hard to separate that you want to say to the person, okay, thank you.
I was getting in my car, and he said, I'm going up to Canada tomorrow. Call her, will you, for me? I said, huh? He said, yeah, call her. She's going to be lonely. Call her. Take her to dinner.
So Ryan called me and said, Lee said to call you and take you out to dinner. And I said, no, what? I said, he did not say that. He said, no, he did. I wouldn't call you unless he said that. And I said, well, you're sure he said that? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay. So Lee called maybe the next day, and I said, did you tell Ryan to call me? And he said, oh, yeah, he called, good, but you're not going. It's so male, okay? So I said, oh, well, yes, I am.
They started dating, and Ryan was introduced to Farrah's crazily public life.
She had bodyguards. She had security. And I said, hey, lose the security. Save the money. And then I went to New York with her, and after 2 days I said, where's that security number again? Get them back. Because this was an intensely popular woman. Whoa! Through the roof. People, like Elvis.
Everyone who knew Ryan knew he was serious about Farrah. But Ryan had a complicated family life already. Sharing his home was daughter Tatum O'Neal, who now had to deal with a competitor for Dad's attention.
There's tension. There's tension. They never clash of the titans.
She'd grown up so much with her daddy that there was a natural possessiveness.
The Farrah thing struck her hard. Turned 16, had her 16th birthday party at Farrah's house. She got 2 cars for her birthday. I was buying her love at that point.
Despite the complications, Ryan and Farrah began to live together, remaining committed, but never marrying.
She's been married, and I've been married. There's like 4 marriages between us. I mean, please.
I had no idea at 20, at 21, when I came out here, really what I wanted to do. And, but the one thing that I knew was that I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be able to support myself, to not have to depend on someone.
What if she said no? Because I did ask her a few times early on.
To me, the thing that makes you married is commitment and respect and love. And I didn't need a piece of paper. I didn't need anything from Ryan. Ryan didn't need anything from me,
Farrah's need for independence did not prevent Ryan from influencing her career. He saw depths in her that no one else had seen.
He had, maybe without even knowing it, tremendous effect on my self-confidence. And Ryan made me trust in my instincts.
Ryan thought Farrah's sexy image was an obstacle to her ability to do serious work.
And so she did Murder in Texas. I thought the hair should go. That was my first instinct. Oh my God, get rid of all this hair. I've never seen it, like a horse. So she pulled her hair back.
And I remember the first day that Ryan came on the set, and he was like looking around, and then he went, oh. I mean, it was really so shocking, and I would say it was probably a big turning point in my career.
And she did it pretty well. Got good reviews, and from then on, no more glamour. She only wanted to do dramatic parts.
Farrah wanted to do a serious film called The Burning Bed, but no one in Hollywood could see her in the role.
I thought, no, I have to do this, because I saw very early on the possibilities of changing not only the way people think, but laws, which did happen.
On a trip to New York, Farrah found a way to change her image when a friend invited her to a play.
And he said, will you do me a favor? Come see Extremities. We're closing. It's closing. Susan Sarandon was doing it, and they were going to close. So he said, I would like to try to keep it open. So Ryan and I went and saw it the next night, and it was one of those moments where I knew what I wanted to do. And so I read for them, and they said, will you do it? And then I said, okay. So I did it, and against Sue Mengers, my agent's advice, said, let me tell you what, if you don't make it in New York on Broadway, you're dead. Career over. And I had no fear, absolutely no fear, because what's the worst that could happen? I would get a bad review. It would close. It was going to close anyway. But I just didn't think about that. I don't think about the negative first. I think about the positive.
It was a good play. It was very dramatic, and of course I think it had a lot to do with Farrah.
Farrah portrayed a woman who, when attacked by a rapist, alternates between vulnerability and fighting back.
Farrah was just amazing in the way that she was able to reveal her inner feelings without trying to tell you. It always came out of situation.
Then you get that standing ovation, and you go, golly, must have worked. And we sold out every night.
The play was so successful, it became a movie. For both the play and the film, Farrah drew on a memory that haunted her from childhood.
I was in the 1st grade, and I lived 2 blocks from school. So my mother, she would drive me to school, but she let me walk home. But a guy, maybe he was in high school, a little older, pulled me into a cotton field and threw me down. And I was so shocked. I thought, what is wrong with this guy? You know, first it was, do you want candy? But anyway, pulled me down and tore my shirt and basically, you know, I think tried to molest me. Told me not to scream. I just let out this blood-curdling scream, and so he quickly ran away, and the whole way home I was crying.
While doing Extremities, Farrah explored her memories of terror and helplessness.
I still have dreams sometimes of being very small and being in a, you know, forest or something where the trees or the plants are enormous. That's what I felt like in that cotton field.
Take this off like a whore. Take it off.
I was able to, I'm sure because of that experience, understand my character's anger, fear.
She had tremendous empathy with the character of Marjorie, and she also had great insight into those feelings, and the burden of it was on Farrah, and I thought she was really marvelous.
Next, Farrah takes on the toughest role of all, Mom.
Being a mother, that's harder than play.
And later, Farrah sculpts a new role in life.
But I just thought, I'm setting myself up. I'm an actress who's now going to be judged as an artist.
When Lifetime's Intimate Portrait returns.
Here's tonight's Aflac trivia question. What was the name of the detective Farrah Fawcett played on the hit 70s TV show Charlie's Angels? The answer in just a moment.
You know, some people don't think what we do is a sport. That's because you can't get hurt doing it. Otherwise, you have that insurance. What insurance? What? Come again? The one that pays you cash. If you're hurt and can't work. Which one?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Look at me, a 56-year-old grandma, but my bones are younger, and I can keep up with this guy, thanks to Oscal.
The calcium in Oscal helps slow the aging process of bones at the cellular level.
Hey, this is what being a grandma's all about. Don't take chances, take Oscal.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, I get it. For a second, I thought you were twice as long.
Cottonelle double roll toilet paper really is twice as long.
Not much outlasts these two.
To last much longer.
Who is that? She's new. Wow. I heard she used to be a dancer. Come on. Are those real? Yeah. They're her own teeth. Wow.
Imagine a dental plan that can provide wow for life. The Crest Dental Plan. We've got more ways than ever to help keep everyone smile.
I'm coming over.
Healthy and beautiful for life.
For a healthy heart, do you know which aspirin cardiologists recommend most? Ecotrin. And Ecotrin, always safety coded, is the aspirin cardiologists use most themselves.
Ecotrin, the #1 choice of cardiologists. For their patients, for themselves.
I'm not touching you. He's touching me. He's touching. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Their choice of activities, dubious. Their choice of drinks, obvious. Because Sunny D has a taste they crave and a full day's supply of vitamin C. Soda has no vitamins.
You're touching me.
Nothing can touch it. Sunny D, the good stuff kids go for.
So she came over, and I made her burgers with this Leanne Perrins. Suddenly, it's like, oh, Joe, you're such a good cook. Your burgers are so juicy. If it worked for me, it could easily work for you.
Leanne Perrins, the Burger Booster.
Honey, have you seen my shoe?
Sara Lee has all kinds of delicious breads to help you stay healthy. Varieties like Heart Healthy 100% whole wheat, Heart Healthy multigrain, and new Delightful White. It's all the good stuff. And Sara Lee tastes, too. So finally, there's a healthy habit you can stick with. The Sara Lee Healthy Breads.
Here's the answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question. Farrah Fawcett played original angel Jill Monroe in the hit 70s TV show Charlie's Angels. The special intimate portrait Farrah Fawcett continues, only on Lifetime. This trivia question was brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Mrs. Grant Staten has everything she ever wanted until...
Annie! I don't recognize this man.
She got exactly what she deserved. Overboard. At 9 tomorrow night for the first time on Lifetime.
What's dirty?
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Filthy. Ooh. Disgusting.
Oh my God.
And can only be seen on Lifetime television?
Let's have you inside. I'm appalled.
How clean is your house? The hilarious new series starring Britain's Duchesses of Dirt, Kim and Aggie. Can years of filth be conquered in just 24 hours? You'll be amazed. How clean is your house?
That's disgusting.
Only on Lifetime. Premieres at 11 next Monday night.
We now return to Lifetime's intimate portrait of Farrah Fawcett. In 1984, after her triumph in Extremities, Farrah was able to do The Burning Bed, a television film about an abused woman who kills her battering husband.
Rose Goldenberg written The Burning Bed, and we had tried to get it done a year or two before. None of the networks would even consider it. When I came back after the reviews, the networks, yes, what do you want to do? We'll do it. We were shooting the courtroom scene.
And then I thought about my kids and how their lives were as terrible as mine.
It was one take in the camera, and after it was over, there was just stunned silence, you know. And then, like, the crew applauded. I mean, I looked over, and some people had tears in their eyes.
Burning Bed won Farrah nominations for the Emmy and for the Golden Globe and launched her on a career of memorable roles. She won another Golden Globe nomination as an heiress in Poor Little Rich Girl, played a divorcee in See You in the Morning, and received the Best Actress ace as photographer Margaret Bourke-White.
I'd give her an award every time she does something. And not just because I love her, but because she's so good.
In Small Sacrifices, she turned towards the dark side, playing the unthinkable, a woman who murders her own children. She was nominated for an Emmy and a Golden Globe, but of all the praise she received, it was the compliment from Robert Duvall that meant the most.
It touched me so much that it came from him when he said, watching Farrah Fawcett act is like eating caviar. You know, there's never a false moment or something like that.
Farrah had played mothers, but wanted a child of her own, so she was thrilled at age 37 to find herself pregnant. In 1985, she and Ryan became proud parents of Redmond James Fawcett O'Neill.
It's probably the single best thing that ever happened to me in my life. And between my son and my parents, it's, I don't know, a great gift. Just a wonderful experience, you know.
And Farrah was overwhelmed by the love she felt for her child.
Everything in my life was for Redmond, for his safety, for his well-being. I just never knew that that's how you felt about a child.
The couple's friends could see how much Redmond's arrival changed them both.
She was always very hands-on and cooking dinner and, you know, very family-oriented. And when he was a little older, doing homework.
But there were conflicts between the parents over how Redmond should be raised.
She wants some rules, but Ryan's a softie, and Redmond knows to manipulate him.
She was strong in her beliefs of how he should be raised, and I was strong in my beliefs about how he should be raised.
They really, really loved each other, and they were very much committed to each other. But, you know, every now and then the explosions came because they were both very strong people.
We fought over him. Damn, we fought over him.
The couple separated in 1997. After 17 years together, it seemed their love story was finally over.
I know, it was like kind of amazing because I think they were more married than most married people I knew.
But they stayed committed to their son Redmond, trying to help him when he began to experiment with drugs, and standing behind him when in 2004 he went into a court-ordered treatment program.
He said the other day, Mom, don't ever stop loving me, okay? I said, never, never. But I thought that was sweet that even could occur to him. I mean, you know, yes, you can get so angry or so disappointed, but how could you not love the best thing in your life?
Next, Farrah faces more hard times.
She had been on the Letterman show a couple of nights before, and he was terrible to her. He really abused her.
Later, Farrah researches her next character with overpowering results.
The character in the play drinks Jack Daniels. She says, well, I don't know what Jack Daniels tastes like. And I said, well, just order one. Go out and order one. So she did. She couldn't finish it because it was too strong.
When Lifetime's Intimate Portrait returns.
Everything affects my performance, but nothing keeps me going, like my friends do. Lifetime, television for women.
Have you discovered Alice White?
Welcome, mate.
Alice White, the inviting wine from down under. Delicious and distinct. Have a glass with Alice.
Infrastructure. Millions of miles of voice and data lines out there. Who maintains all that? Well, in a large part of this country, SBC does. Why SBC? Seemed only right since we built it in the first place. SBC, going beyond the call.
It's amazing.
More and more denture wearers prefer Polygrip's Ooze Control Tip.
It goes on thinner and flatter.
Polygrip's tip spreads a thin, flat ribbon for less ooze.
It's a wonderful idea.
Try the first tip for precision control. Polygrip's Ooze Control Tip. Less ooze. It's big news.
There's a better way to rent movies. As many as you want for just $22 a month and no late fees. Go to Netflix.com. Make a list of the movies you want to see, and in about one business day, you'll get 3 DVDs. Keep them as long as you want, without late fees. Then when you're done, look, prepaid envelopes. Return one, and they'll send you another movie from your list. It's easy.
Netflix. All the movies you want, $22 a month, and no late fees.
Want to get psoriasis off your back and chest and elbows and legs? Enbrel. It's a breakthrough that can help. Enbrel is a different way of treating moderate to severe psoriasis. It can dramatically clear skin fast and help keep it clear month after month. Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections, so don't start it if you have one. Tell your doctor if you're prone to them, or if you've been treated for heart failure, or if you experience persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness while on Enbrel. Serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, lymphoma, nervous system, and blood disorders have occurred. Common side effects included injection site reaction, infection, and headache. Ask your dermatologist about Enbrel, and tell psoriasis where to get off.
There we go. All right.
All right, when it drops, make sure you get that lid on fast.
I'm on it.
People don't always use common sense. Fortunately, there's a healthcare company that does. At United Healthcare, we offer tools to fight rising costs, a 24-hour nurse line, and preventive healthcare solutions. United Healthcare. It just makes sense.
From Lifetime original movies, even the best wedding planner.
You're flawless with details. My therapist calls it obsessive-compulsive disorder.
Can't plan everything.
Let me guess. The groom fell head over heels.
Especially when it comes to love.
Nick, the fireman.
Denise Richards, Dean Cain. Expect the unexpected.
How do you two know each other? The fireman of my dreams is marrying the client of my nightmares.
I do, but I don't. A Lifetime original movie. Premieres 9 p.m. Monday, September 13th, only on Lifetime.
We now return to Lifetime's intimate portrait of Farrah Fawcett. Farrah had been a media goddess, but by 1997, she was experiencing the dark side of all that press attention.
They pick on her because she leaves herself open for that, because she is really naive.
Farrah's most vulnerable moment was in June 1997. She was appearing on the David Letterman show to promote her Playboy video, All of Me, in which she painted with her nude body. Stills were in the current issue of the magazine.
I went on the Letterman show to promote something I was obviously uncomfortable promoting. It's different, I think, when you promote a film. You can talk about the character, the director, the cast, the experience, but I was talking about Playboy and me being in Playboy.
The screaming crowds distracted her, and she was ill at ease.
I think it's one thing to sell a film, it's another thing to sell yourself.
When they went to commercial break, David asked her to stay on for the whole show, and Farrah agreed. Afterward, she read in the tabloid press that she had been confused and possibly drunk or on drugs.
I was surprised at the reaction.
And he was terrible to her. He really abused her. He's a bully anyway, and he made her kind of a laughing stock, like she was drugged out or drunk or something, which is just not true.
At the end of that year, Farrah's press was much better, with a highly praised appearance in Robert Duvall's film, The Apostle.
I said, I'm not sure that I have her down yet. He said, yeah, you do. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I was like,
A major critic called this a telling performance that made us believe. But in January 1998, Farrah was in the press again. She'd appeared in the film Man of the House and was having dinner with the director, James Orr, when they began to argue.
He just ran up and knocked me down on the ground. And I knew, and I felt warm blood, going down my neck and my back. It was just, I don't know. I just went, wait, time out. Like a kid, time out. I'm really hurt. You have to stop.
The Los Angeles city attorneys brought charges against Orr. The woman who'd brought the plight of abuse victims to the screen in Burning Bed was now an abuse victim herself.
I had a restraining order, and he had to go for 100 hours of anger management and do some community service.
Farrah put the incident behind her by concentrating on her work. She was shooting a TV film, Baby, in Nova Scotia, when director Bob Altman called.
Robert Altman is so generous, and he truly, I think, has a tremendous respect for actors. He makes it a very safe environment.
Altman asked Farrah to appear in Dr. T and the Women, which he was shooting in Dallas.
I had to shoot this on a certain weekend. And that was a weekend that she was shooting in Nova Scotia for Glenn Close's picture. And she said, I will be there. And she chartered a plane and flew to Dallas, and she paid for the plane. I think the plane cost her twice or three times what we paid her. But she was really great about it.
Farrah played Richard Gere's wife in the film.
She's a good actress. She's always, every scene we do, she surprised me. Either with the humor or with the lightness with which she would do it.
Her character was having a nervous breakdown.
I had to find out what made this woman get to this point. Because after all, it is Richard Gere, and he adores her. Oh no, we can't do that anymore. It's not nice. And the rest of the film, I never even get to kiss him. He tries to hold me. I wouldn't. Why couldn't we get together?
Richard Gere treated Farrah like a kindred soul.
I think when we worked together, we had this sort of, recognition of that in each other.
In 2003, Farrah had a similar bonding experience with other actors when she accepted the lead in a Broadway show, Bobby Boland.
Farrah Fawcett walks into my first day of rehearsal, and I can't help it. It's Farrah Fawcett, and I grew up with her poster on my wood-paneled wall in my bedroom when I was a kid. So I think I had something more to get over than she did, and I don't usually get starstruck, but I couldn't help being starstruck with her.
She came with an enthusiasm for the material. She had responded to the play in a way that she hadn't to any other play in a long time, and to the character in particular. Bobby Boland is a former Miss Florida.
The part is like Hamlet in the panhandle of Florida for a woman. It's immense and asks for everything that an actress could bring to it. So watching her start to get into that was really exciting.
The play rehearsed for weeks, and then during previews, the play's producer, Joyce Johnson, decided to close it before it opened.
I said, "You don't want to give it a few more days?" She said, "No, I'm the captain of the ship, and I see us sailing towards the rocks, and I feel it's my responsibility to save us all." And I said, "By sinking the ship, I would much rather go out there and take the shots, whatever they are. Bad performance, didn't deliver, play doesn't work, whatever it may be. The one thing Bobby Boland stands for is you don't give up."
No sooner had the play closed than Farrah found herself in the headlines again, blamed for the play's failure.
Whenever something controversial happens with an icon, it sells for the media. I think it's that simple. And she's such an icon that she became the show for the press.
They talked about her, coming to rehearsals drunk and that sort of thing. And that was pure fabrication. There was nothing like that going on.
Next, a crisis brings Farrah back to Ryan's side.
She wanted to be there for him. So in a way, life is funny, to take illness to get people together.
When Lifetime's Intimate Portrait continues.
Some people don't think what we do is a sport. That's because you can't get hurt doing it. Otherwise, you have that insurance. What insurance? What? Come again? The one that pays you cash. If you're hurt and can't work.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Clear complexion, blemish healing makeup soothes and improves your skin from Almay.
Imagine a spa treatment with soothing vanilla and relaxing lavender for your mind, your body, and now, your clothes. Introducing Downy Simple Pleasures, a fabric softener with natural essences like vanilla and lavender. Can a scent change your mood? Try one and see. New Downy Simple Pleasures. Look for it soon.
Why does my doctor recommend Citracel? Because it's different. The fiber in Metamucil can cause excess gas, but the fiber in Citracel won't. And people prefer its taste 2-to-1 over Metamucil. Citracel, available in caplets and powder.
It's a school day imperfect. Here, students arrive in a timely fashion. There are always enough supplies to complete your class project. And even the teachers have a hard time coming in from recess. Of course, life isn't always perfect, so there's Walgreens, open every day, many 24 hours, with everything needed for school. That's life. This is Walgreens.
Let's imagine a miracle. A lipstick that blossoms with color and shines with light and moisture. Let's imagine a miracle that lasts into the night.
Moisture, color, shine, wear. Finally, the best of all worlds come together in one lipstick. Introducing My Lip Miracle from Avon.
Let's talk about the power of having it on.
Don't know what I'd do without my friends. Or what they'd do without me. Lifetime television for women.
Can we do a little? Can we go again? Can we do a little?
We made it more.
Can we do a little?
We made it better.
Can we do a
We made it faster.
Can we go again?
Comcast doubled the speed of its already blazing fast internet for the same great price. So what will you do with the twice as fast power of Comcast high-speed internet?
Call now and get Comcast high-speed internet for just $19.99 a month for the next 4 months.
Can I help you, sir?
Found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator. Thank you.
Comcast, focused on community.
How dirty is your bathroom? How filthy is your kitchen? Come on, be honest now.
Britain's Duchesses of Dirt are coming to America to turn the most terrifying homes on Earth into sparkling palaces. Don't miss the premiere of Lifetime's brand new series, How Clean Is Your House? Monday at 11. And to get you ready, kick back all Labor Day weekend as Kim and Aggie host your favorite Lifetime movies.
You deserve a day off, America. Or do you?
All this weekend, only on Lifetime.
We now return to Lifetime's intimate portrait of Farrah Fawcett. Throughout her life, Farrah has found solace from the stress of public life by spending time with her first true love, art. In high school, she discovered she had this gift.
I drew a Madonna and child and then put some rope and stapled it in, and then on a piece of paper ran some black sort of ink over it, and won a prize without really ever thinking, oh, is this good? Is this what everybody else was doing?
In college, at the University of Texas, she decided to major in art.
Professor Umlauf gave this to me when I was at the University of Texas. He really was my mentor and taught me the appreciation. It is me. It is I.
Farrah threw herself into her artwork, but remained modest about her talent and her goals.
This is my first sculpture that I did in art school as an art student. I never thought that I could make a living selling my art.
Even after she was lured out to Hollywood, Farrah kept up her artwork.
She was selling things for thousands of dollars before she became Farrah.
As her acting career took off, Farrah still found time for her art.
It was one of my lithographs. I did this on the set of Small Sacrifices. I always do a sketch that's representative.
In 2000, Farrah got a letter from a New York sculptor, Keith Edmeyer, that sparked a major project.
I was struck by the letter. It was very intelligent, very articulate, and also the key word was collaborate.
Farrah met with the artist, and they began to work together in 2001.
You know, I was very nervous in the beginning, because I wanted to, it was very important to me that this was a full collaboration. So I was really interested in it being a representation of her.
This is the plaster that ended up being the sculpture that I collaborated with Keith Edmeyer on, and I think ended up in a bronze. This hand is my hand, and that's Keith's. But they were supposed to go like this.
So 1 month turned into 2 years of them working together. And during those 2 years, they started making much more than one major sculpture. They made about 6 very important sculptures and photographs and drawings.
And I learned so much from him. It was great because I sculpt in clay and then it goes to bronze. He's into making the bases and pouring the silicone and putting in the catalyst. I think that I can have shared intimacy with someone, and that can come in a form of a collaboration with an artist. You become very intimate.
High five.
All right.
The collaboration turned into a traveling exhibition that opened in November of 2002 at the Los Angeles County Museum.
The attendance at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art was the highest for any contemporary art project ever exhibited at the museum.
Farrah's life has come full circle. Along with her return to art, she's also found peace by spending a lot of time in Texas recently.
Farrah, I mean, basically she's a Southern girl whose priorities are her family, loves her parents, has nurtured her parents like a perfect daughter, loved her sister, and also totally devoted to her son.
Sadly, health problems in her family have made those visits bittersweet.
This is my sister, my Diane. She passed away almost 2 years ago from lung cancer. And I watched my mother suffer the loss of my sister. And I don't think that I've ever witnessed anything so painful.
Now Farrah is concerned for both her parents.
He's 87. My mother's 90. As I get older, I realize what they did, what they sacrificed, what they just inherently gave me. Not said, you have to do this and have to do this and have to tell the truth. You know what I mean? Just things you absorb because they were good role models.
When she's not in Texas, Farrah and her parents also spend a lot of time on the phone.
I said, you're not pretty, you're beautiful, and you're just as pretty now as you were a while ago. My daughter's like a frog in a hailstorm. She wakes up in a new world every morning.
And I always have, right? Oh, I love you, Daddy. I wish you were here.
Well, I love you very much, baby.
Yeah.
Your mama loves you.
I know. Tell my mommy I love her.
Okay.
Hi.
Farrah faced another health scare when she learned Ryan O'Neal had leukemia.
I think it was devastating for Farrah to hear that, you know, and certainly for Redmond, and I think it kind of drew them all together as a family again.
The same week when he found out that he has leukemia, it was the same week was a drug approved by the FDA. So the timing, if you're going to be sick, it was terrific. I mean, it's a terrific drug, and now he's in remission.
He looks great. He seems to be just full of vitality, and it's amazing. I mean, it's a miracle.
We're in very good place now. We're in very good terms. She's awfully nice to me. I wonder what that means.
She has probably one of the kindest hearts of anybody that I've ever known.
This is it. Went easy. I love you, Farrah.
Farrah is leaving the door open to many new possibilities, including new roles in films, such as the upcoming Cookout with Danny Glover and Queen Latifah.
I played Danny Glover's wife. He's a judge. It's funny. It's very funny, and I loved working with everyone on that set.
Farrah continues to meet the demands of her public, but most of all, she welcomes any opportunity to grow as a woman or as an artist.
I started it in 1968, and I haven't finished it yet. As I go through phases, she becomes different people. I don't know if I ever want to finish her. I mean, she's ever evolving. I'm ever evolving. We're all ever evolving. A work in progress. What I've noticed about myself is I'm not interested in doing the same thing, the same roles, staying in the same box.
I just hope it's time for America to stop obsessing on her personal life and what she looks like, and start focusing on her as an actress. And it's time for her to say, okay, I never wanted to be an icon. She never did. All she wanted to be was taken seriously as an actress.
It's just like almost everything that happens to me, like I can't believe it, you know. Just great, really great. I mean, it's more than I certainly could have dreamed, and certainly much more than I wished for.